Yeah.
Dude.
It's bad.
I like how you tried to like do the countdown in like an Italian accent.
Yeah.
And we both looked at each other once we clapped and we're like, what the
Who
fuck?
does that? Who does that?
What's gonna happen?
I sound like the guy from. Whenever I do that accent, the Italian accent, I always just think about the vampire from Sesame Street.
Oh, the count.
Yeah, the count.
The count, yeah.
And the one. And the two.
Dude, so many bits in like comedy at large is just about like, what if Count was like, I don't know. I think there's like a Dave Chappelle bit is like, what if the Count was like a pimp, right?
Yeah,
It's like
slap.
it was slap it, a one slap, a two slap. I don't know, dude.
Comedy's great because you can just reference anything that we all have in our brains of Sesame Street and then just make it stupid.
Yeah, like I mean, just for like, I think this is not maybe a comedy cheat code, but rather like just an easy thing to get your foot in the door. It's like if you reference like a kid's TV show and then just like put it into an adult context, it's funny almost every time. Like one of the first jokes that I ever did was like, it was like at Purdue. Do you remember this shit? Like I used to like do an impression of Shaggy, and I forgot that I did this shit. It was just like I just like do it in front of my dad because he loves Scooby Doo. He's like Scoob, like she said she was 18, and my dad is just like, can you stop? Can you please stop?
That is fun. It's very true. It's just fun to do, and it always is taking a children's show and putting it into like a weird sexual context, I guess, is the blueprint. Like I don't know, put Barney in like To Catch a Predator or something.
Yeah.
I love you. And then
have you seen? Holy shit! I can't believe me and my girlfriend were watching this shit like just randomly, like the Chris Hansen, not the To Catch a Predator show,
yeah,
but the online reboot that he did. I think it's not called To Catch a Predator. It's just called like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the same, the exact same premise.
Yeah.
Where he had like, Catfish is a pedophile into coming, and what's always funny about it is that he has it's the sting operation house where he catches them is in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And he always tries to catfish people like in New York, right? And so they make the drive from New York to Connecticut. And then he always mentions, like, this freak is driving all the way up from New York to Connecticut, like, just to drive home the point that he's a loser who can't get pussy and has to drive, like,
cross state borders to get illegal pussy. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and then they, like, when he comes into the room, he's like, what are you doing here? You drove all the way up from Connecticut. And he's like, all right, I am a pedophile. He mentions the distance, and they fold immediately, dude. The funniest things is when, like, okay, I mean, it's not...
Wait, well, how many miles is it from New York to Connecticut?
I don't know.
It's like 800? That seems high.
I know people, like, commute from Connecticut to the fucking city.
I'm looking it up. It can't be that high.
It can't be that.
It's gotta be like 200 miles.
One time he was like, this math tutor all the way out in Queens, New York. It's not
wait, hold on. It's 76 miles.
See, that's not that bad.
It's like a 2-hour drive.
Why does he keep saying that?
It's a 2-hour drive. I drive 2 hours for pussy. It doesn't make you a loser. It just makes you you're like a Lewis and Clark.
Yeah.
You're like discovering pussy. You're
like Sacagawea. Ooh. Is there a Mr. Sacagawea?
Oh, interesting.
It's like you're you know what's funny is that, like,
what's the miles that it's like he wouldn't bring it up? If they drove like 25, he'd be like, all right, you're working within a good distance. You're within a good radius here.
'Cause here's the thing, like, to get to my girlfriend's house, I'd travel like an hour.
Yeah.
You think I show up and Chris Hansen's like, you've traveled an hour. Do you think that's right?
Yeah.
Also, like,
sorry they're in love. Sorry they're willing to go the distance. Okay,
Also, every time they they do the boy catfish,
yeah,
right? Or like
it's a woman who's catfishing a woman trying to get with a minor.
I guess like the majority of them is like a 14-year-old girl,
right?
And then like that's the decoy, and then the guy shows up and turns out she's not a 14-year-old girl. And
it's Chris Hansen, yeah,
shows up. But for the boy, it's just like a man. It's like a grown dude who's like kind of short, like 5'5".
Yeah.
And he's like,
wait, what?
It's like a scruff, and he's like it's supposed to act like he's 14.
Yeah.
He's like, he looks like you and me, kind of. Like he like the guy, like the gay, like the gay pedophile person. It shows up expecting like like a little tyke or whatever.
Yeah,
Instead it's just like a
little
man
tyke.
who's
Yeah.
like clearly supposed to be like an account manager at
It's
a
like-
fucking CVS. Yeah.
I saw you on the bridge toll on the way here, dude.
Yeah, exactly. You were the guy who gave me the fast pass to get through the tunnel. It's like, what are you doing here?
wonder
He
what the-
still has the vest
Yeah.
on. It's like, you want to come in for some?
You work a 9 to 5. You want to kill yourself? What do you mean?
Yeah,
You're not 14.
Yeah, you like they show up immediately, like for the 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
right? I think women can look younger, like
Right.
to such an extent that they can fool a pedophile.
Sure.
Or like they show up and they're like, ooh, it's time to get. It's nasty, but like they show up and the guy's just like, "Hey, you want to come into my room?" There's like, "Where are the fucking cameras?" Dude? It's so clearly.
You have size 12 feet. No fucking.
Yeah.
A 13-year-old's going through that. That's interesting. I wonder what the because they probably. Well, I assume it's like a Craigslist ad for like they get those people. They're just like any age 5'5" or below. just a short guy being like, fuck it, I'm working at Foot Locker today. I'll be a 14-year-old later today. I saw it was on Craigslist, pretty good pay.
The funniest thing is when like they have like kind of an adverse reaction. I mean, who wouldn't be like thrown off by Chris Hansen or whatever?
Yeah.
It's funny to me to think about like pedophiles who don't know who Chris Hansen is.
Yeah.
Because like a guy shows up and they're like, "Where's the 14-year-old? Bring her back in here." What are you, her dad?
Hey, I met your daughter. She's lovely. So if you could get her back
Yeah.
in the room.
I'm like, can I? What? I have to ask her for your permission. May I have your daughter's hand on my?
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know, dude.
What a crazy start to this thing.
But anyways, like the. It always regresses.
I know,
back.
it always goes down.
It always goes back. But like the funniest thing is when they have like an adverse reaction to getting caught,
Right.
Because I remember like I was watching this one thing. This guy, he's like a math tutor.
Yeah.
Which watch out.
Well, it does help. I hate all the kids I tutor, so
It's like you,
I'm like,
it's
these
like
guys suck.
Chris Hansen is like, this math tutor's driving all the way up from New York, and they open the door and it's you. It's like, I want to have sex. I'm sorry.
Scrap the whole episode. We're
No,
done.
It was like a bald white dude,
Yeah.
right? And then he's just like, every time Chris Hansen catches someone, he does like a sign off. First of all, in front of them. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm Chris Hansen, and this is To Catch a Predator, right? So he's doing it to this guy. It was just like, I'm Chris Hansen. He's like, no, you're not. Like, no, you're not.
No way.
I think it's just like such a degree of like denial. Where
Yeah.
It's like this. There's no way this can be happening.
Yeah.
There's another one where this guy, he shows up and he brought like a pizza, right?
Okay.
He brings like a pizza, and the girl, the decoy, is just like, yummy, and he's like, oh no, it's for me. He doesn't fucking. He doesn't even offer to share. Yeah,
That's
it's like a
awesome.
9-inch personal pizza, and he's like eating it. First of all,
Yeah.
he goes to the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Clearly, like takes like I think Chris Hansen's like he's in the bathroom for a long time, right? It's just like he's implying that he's taking a shit, and then he walks out back to his personal pizza,
Yeah.
and Chris Hansen's standing there, and Chris Hansen is not just like, we caught you being a pedophile. He's
Yeah.
just like, what are you doing? What is wrong with you, man? And he's like, I was here to have sex with a girl. And he's like, did you think you were gonna accomplish what you were about to do? And he's like, probably. This is my first time doing it. He's like, yeah, clearly. Anyways, I don't know what-
Bringing a personal pizza is very funny. Just
I want to do that, like more.
you just add Domino's and you're like, yeah, this is for later. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, just
Be a
test the limits of my
pedophile.
girlfriend's patience. Show up to her house, and she's like, have you eaten yet? It's like, I'm about to. What are you doing for dinner?
Showing up on a date, like a picnic date, be like, I brought a pizza for myself.
For myself.
You can eat the grass around here, maybe. Eat some daisies.
Yeah, it's like, I noticed you're wearing a sundress. I see that figure. I don't think you need part of this pizza. Like, you just fat shame her into. Like,
Yeah, this is cheese for me. This little dummy needs a little.
it's like, I've been working out. Fried cheese is for good boys, not bad girls.
Just the worst date ever. Oh my god. That's terrible. Those people. I actually I was talking to a fellow comic,
Yeah.
and they were saying, I don't even know how it came up, but they were saying that their like dad went to jail for potentially meeting a minor, so it was like a sting operation from the police.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And I don't really know why I brought this up. But
Wait, okay, so like it was a comic that we're not gonna say the name, but it's like, is it someone that we like both know? Maybe?
I don't know if you know them, but I just thought it was like, it's interesting because obviously it's like some of these people they have. Well, I guess in the Catch a Predator, it's always like losers or whatever.
Yeah.
But like this guy's like he was like owned a successful business and like was like a father obviously, and like to see that is it's like extra, like damn.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, here's the deal. I feel like with To Catch a Predator, like the show, they intentionally pick out losers, just so they can be like all pedophiles are fucking losers. But it's like it's kind of dishonest in the sense that like pedophiles are everywhere.
Yeah,
they're just in every tranche of society, and it's like it's not a good thought to have, obviously. But it sucks for that one comic. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's also like, oh, there's so much fodder there for comedy. I think that's just sad.
Yeah, I don't think you should bring that up.
I don't think that's a good joke to be like, it's like at the tiny cupboard. It's like a late 10:30 show. It's like, my dad's a pedophile. Anybody else? It's like silence.
Just doing the worst crime work of all time. Anyone else's dad like kids? Come on.
You're just following like a white girl who just talked about, you know, her Hinge date or whatever. It's like, so yeah, speaking of Hinge dates, my dad really liked 14-year-olds. Anybody else?
Yeah, he had a Hinge Premium. He put his age preferences to 14 to 16. It was crazy.
I kind of have like a fantasy of like doing like just like getting onto like a bringer show at like, I don't know, like fucking New York Comedy Club or Broadway, and then just like being like crowd work and it's like, who else thinks 14-year-olds are hot? You guys,
your 5 friends you brought, you're like, what the
fuck? This is my coming out party. Dude, I don't know, man. That sucks. I mean, I can't imagine like my own dad like being caught for that shit.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be the one, like the Chris Hansen's like, I'm Chris Hansen. He's like, no, you're not. Come on, man.
Anyway, it was a crazy story to hear, but he said he's somewhat mended the relationship with, you know, their father, and I think it's interesting to hear like the whole after thing. 'Cause it's like such a terrible moment for a person, but then it's like what happens after? It's like you serve time and then you have to like kind of live your life or whatever. But I thought was kind of funny. The comic was like, yeah, it's been enough time that like my dad doesn't have to. He's like off like the list, I guess now. And then everyone in the room was like, yeah, we all like celebrated. We're like, good for your dad, man. He's off the list.
Yeah,
he made
like
it.
No one clapped, and then he's just like, oh, but you clapped for the girl who broke off her situationship, huh? This is real shit, dude. Not a situationship. That's fake.
Real trap
shit. You know, it's funny. I was just thinking about this. Like, as you mentioned, is like, what do they have to do? They just serve time or whatever?
Yeah.
You know, in Shawshank Redemption, where like Red is like sitting in front of the panel of like the like lawyers or whatever, and it's like, do you think you've been rehabilitated? And he's just like, well, do I still want to fuck children? No. Would I? Yes. I don't give a shit.
The lawyers are like, maybe.
It's also like, you know, that's a weird question to ask like a pedophile in jail, because it's like there are no kids around.
Yeah.
So it's just like, have you been rehabilitated? And it's like, I think so. I was like, oh yeah, what about now? It's like JoJo Siwa or whatever. He's like, oh,
pops out of a box,
starts howling.
That is a interesting. That is the process they still do, right? Like they evaluate criminals and then people in prison and they go, okay, do you feel like you've been rehabilitated or whatever?
Yeah, and that's like
who says no?
Yeah,
are there
like,
people who
I think I need a bit more time, actually. Who would say no? I think what it is that everybody says yes.
Yeah.
But then, like, the lawyers who've seen all these, like, you know, horrendous crimes happen, they have to be convinced.
Right.
And I think that's the thing. But it's like, okay, I mean, what...
They're like, I've been rehabilitated. Please, let me outside.
It's like, do you think you've been rehabilitated? We were talking about like in the fucking coffee shop. There's like a video interview.
Yeah.
It's like, and I'm just like, yo, you crazy for this, bro. And it's like, we think you're a good fit for parole. It's like, shit, man. I mean, you got me, bro. Like, you a real one for real. There's a guy, like a white guy, convicted of like finance crimes or something.
Why are you talking like that, Andy Dufresne? You're like, oh, shit, I don't know, man. Fucking.
That'd be so funny, like Andy Dufresne, like in the because that movie takes place in the 40s.
Yeah.
From the 40s to the 60s.
He's like, he's just bringing up culture, like words that wouldn't even be used. Like, what's up, Jit? Man, what's up? You know how it goes home. Like, yeah, I hit the gritty into jail. You know, and they got me locked up for real. It's like, Andy Dufresne, what the hell is going on?
And like Morgan Freeman's narration is just like, Andy Dufresne started acting like this on the first day of prison. He did not want to be raped. Unfortunately, this made him such a big target.
Why is that white boy talking like that?
It's like, yo, Andy. It's like, yo, what's good? What's good? It's like, let me grab that do-rag while I give you back shots, bitch. And he's like, shit, I'm scared.
He's just doing Ebonics. They may remake it. It's him doing Ebonics.
Yeah, just out of place Ebonics,
Oh,
dude.
God.
Oh, my God. Again, it's like, well, this is another comedy trope. It's like taking, like, very serious movies
and
being
then
like,
making it.
Yeah.
Andy Dufresne, like, after he crawled through all that shit.
Yeah.
Hell, man, that shit was crazy, man. That shit was...
It's like, I don't know. It gets so easy to do, like Schindler's List. What if there's a bouncer in front of you ain't on the list, man. It's like, oh, come on. I've waited all day on these train tracks. You're going to let me in, dude.
Hey, man, shoes or shirt, no service, all right?
So
you
funny.
gotta take them off.
It's so funny to be like, to like get accepted into Auschwitz because you have like hella hoes. You just have to like... It always, dude. This podcast always comes
so
back
terrible.
to the Holocaust, dude. We gotta
So
stop.
terrible. Okay, we're off the topic. No more.
We gotta, yeah. This is... I will say one more thing on the topic.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, this isn't related to... This is kind of related to like the Nazis, I guess. But
Sure.
like, I remember... I haven't rewatched it, and I probably should have for the cast, but there was like there's this documentary that Vice did on like these KKK members in like Mississippi or something,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of
like recent?
it was like I don't know, like 8 years ago, so not recent.
Oh, but
at
like
all.
in the 2000s.
Yeah, like in the 2010s.
Okay.
So
How do they even schedule they email them or something?
yeah, how do
Like-
they get a hold of them?
At kkk.com or
It's like
something.
we're a big fan of your racism and would like to do things. Like, oh sure, does this time work for you? It's like, oh, how about this time? Like they're scheduling. It's like we got to showcase how racist these guys can be.
Yeah.
Anyways, a lot of them, like I think the point of the documentary was to show that a lot of these like KKK members were like military people.
Oh.
Like, because I think the KKK would go after people with combat experience in the hopes that, they'll have, like, combat-ready people within their ranks in case, like, a race war breaks out or something.
Sure, yeah.
But I was thinking, just like, well, what if, like, a lot of them are not, like, combat veterans? And I kept thinking, it's like, what if, like, just they became racist because some black dude in the military, like in JROTC, is like, yo, your haircut sucks. And they're like, I'm gonna fucking hang you.
They all have the same buzz cut.
They
They're all
all
making
the same
fun,
buzz- yeah, exactly.
fun of each other's hair.
It's like, yo fade busted. And it's like, he tried his best.
It's also like, it's interesting that they would go after veterans with combat experience. Like, half those guys have PTSD and like serious forms of depression. Like, the race war breaks out and they're like, man, I don't want to. I'm scared. I don't want to.
Yeah, they're like in the trenches crying. And it's like, why did we enlist this fucking guy? Why did we enlist him? And then
Oh, he peed his pants. You can't find it.
he's crying for his mom. I didn't know they do that. I thought they only did that in movies. He's actually doing it in front of us right now. Dude, I don't know. There was this one at the end of the documentary.
Right.
It follows mainly this one guy.
Okay.
Who's like, I think is like the most well-spoken and also has like all of his teeth. And I thought it's not even a joke. It's like a lot of these people are missing their teeth. And it's like, I think they're like mostly like whacked out on fucking crystal or something.
Oh, okay.
Like that's why they, I feel like
For whatever reason, if you're gonna make like an association, like your teeth hold your morals. Like the more teeth you lose, the more racist you become.
Oh no, I feel, but if it, like crystal meth is just like, I feel like if you do it, you would start to think
yes.
it's like, yeah, the Mexicans are out to get me, dude. Like,
because you're just tweaking the entire time.
It's like they keep staring at me. It's like we're in a burrito place.
Yeah.
You're the
He's
only
asking
white
you to
guy.
take your order. Like, what do you mean?
So they ask, like they follow primarily this one guy who's like, I guess like the most well spoken, right?
Sure.
And he says that like, oh, I was in Iraq, all this shit.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he's like firing guns. Like he has like a fucking like M14 or something.
Sure.
And it's like firing into the trees.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck he was doing. And then he like looks to the camera and he like shows his like shaking hand and he's like, yeah, that's right, I have PTSD. I'm like, I'm less scared now. I am less scared of this shit.
Yeah.
That documentary was so fucking bad, and it made me realize how much of an issue, how much of a non-issue, like
the KKK is.
The KKK is.
Yeah.
First
They
of
all have PTSD. I mean, they're like, let's go attack a Juneteenth rally, and then there's fireworks. We're like, oh shit, we gotta go. We can't.
They're crying and peeing their pants.
Yeah.
They're crying out for their moms. And also, like, okay, there was one part of the thing where they're like in a park and they're doing a barbecue.
Okay.
Which first of all made me realize, like, oh, they just want to be friends.
Yeah, I just want to hang out.
Yeah, we did the same thing for your birthday. I feel like if we all had like robes, it would be the same fucking thing. Also, they weren't even wearing robes; they're just wearing like America fucking memorabilia.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So it's like they're just fucking dudes hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so they're at a park barbecuing. And there's like a table of like Muslim women that just like sit down near there, right?
Sure.
And then instead of being like, "What the fuck," they're like, "You think they want some chips?" Like they like the guy was just like, "I feel like I should be nice to them and give them like food,"
Yeah.
which is so funny to think. It's like, oh, there's a minority. They're probably hungry.
Well, I think what it is, it's like when you're barbecuing, it's actually when you're the most open, because it's like such a fun activity. You're hanging out with your friends, you're eating good food. It's like, I feel like racism and barbecues, like those go against each other.
Yeah.
Those are like, when I'm barbecuing, I'm like, I want to hang out with everyone. I want to give food to everyone. I want to also barbecue. I mean, black people have the best cookouts. Like they could learn a lot if they just integrated with the community.
Yeah.
They could learn about good ribs and hanging out.
Yeah, just I don't know how long the KKK has been around for. I guess like since the end of the Civil War. But from the end of the Civil War until now, they're just like, why do our burgers suck ass, dude? What is the fucking secret? I don't know what's going on. Like they have no clue.
Yeah.
It's like, why the fuck does our food taste like this shit? Anyways, so the guy is like the main guy that the documentary is following. He's just like, I'm gonna go give them some Lay's chips.
Yeah.
He has like one bag. He has one like snack bag for like 3-4 Muslim women.
Yeah.
Just one of them for the whole group. And he's just like, and he tries to go over there.
Yeah.
And he starts walking back. He's like, I couldn't do it. Like he just is like, I couldn't do it. And I'm like, what is?
Yeah.
I don't even have a joke for this. It's like, what?
People are like, assume it's because he's racist, but he's just scared to talk to women.
Yeah, exactly. He's like,
I saw the 4 girls are beautiful. I couldn't really get the
he
chips.
yeah, he just like comes back with the boner. He's like, I'm too racist, I guess. He just.
It's funny that he goes back to moral. It's like, what would they want with a racist like me? They wouldn't want to hang out with them.
But I'm a racist. I don't like Jews.
It's so interesting. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, because at barbecue, it's like, there's some point there, I think, that's poignant, that barbecue is a time of acceptance. It's hard to be racist and have a barbecue, but...
Yeah.
Well, this is very exciting news for the pod. We have our official first sponsor.
Oh, okay. This is the thing.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do a little sponsor shout out. This goes out to Mr. Cam Gillum.
Cam Gillum.
Cam Gillum. He's our friend from school,
Yeah.
and he asked if we could do a promo for his album. And JT and I, no offense, we have not listened to this album at all yet.
Which is kind of like, I mean, just trying to be like supportive. It's like we have not heard this at all.
No.
And we're still like, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. It could just be like, yeah, just audio recordings of like a shoot, like the Las Vegas shooting or something. It could be something horrible.
Why would that even be?
I don't know why I thought that.
Anyway, A Place for You by Indiana Commune, out now.
Yeah, we should clarify it's not a audio recording.
Yeah,
of the Las Vegas
that is
shooting.
insane to say to our
Mess up
our first sponsor.
Mess with the first sponsorship. I'm sure it's great, dude.
Do you want to listen to one track to maybe?
Yes, absolutely.
We can pick one. I don't know which one draws your attention, but
Bud Forethought.
Okay.
Because that's like the only explicit one, right? This is already amazing. It does sound like he's about to say the N word.
yeah, it's pretty. Oh,
Dude, this
I'll let it play. I'll let it do its thing.
I'm pretty sure this is Cam playing.
Yeah.
He sent me like a lot of the audio recordings leading up to this shit.
Yeah.
Like I think last year, and it like shocked me how good it was. Like
Wow.
he's like a really talented musician. This isn't even part of the sponsorship.
Yeah.
Like I'd listen to it and be like,
Bro, you're glazing hella
I'm
hard.
low-key,
right now.
I'm bouncing on that
You're
shit, dude.
bouncing
I'm doing backflips on it. I'm doing Simone Biles like full body, straight onto the
Contortion
peanut.
gold.
Yeah.
Gold medal.
I'm doing Simone Biles shit where I get depressed and
Get
step
anxious.
off. Yeah.
I can't be riding this. Okay, well, this is Bud Forethought, and I don't know if it's picking up on the mic at all, but
We're past the age of 10 birthdays.
Oh, this is Cam's voice.
oh, is it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right, listen to it. It's good.
It's so good, dude.
It's so good. And our first sponsor.
Enough of the response. We just been fucking applying to jobs all day. That's what
yeah,
we've been doing.
JT, tell the people what
I got fired,
You got
ladies and
fired.
gentlemen.
Ooh.
I got so fired.
This boy sucks.
This boy sucks, dude.
Sucks at his work.
What's funny is that, okay, my workload in my last week, which was last week,
Right.
it got like, decreased tenfold because I remember like just clocking in to this fucking dumb job and being so stressed because there was like 10 different things that would come up throughout the course of the day. And also I just, leave early to do stand-up every day,
Yeah.
without exception. And then I remember like my boss, he like called me and he was like, he's like, this has been coming for a while. And then he started tearing up.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think of you as a friend and less than a subordinate, and I want to be. I'm like, what kind of like of mice and men firing is this?
Those rabbits were beautiful, weren't they?
Tell me, it's like, yeah, like tell me about the rabbits, JT. Is like, what rabbits? He's like, you're fired.
Just shoots his screen. With
Shoots the screen. He's like, I'm not even turned around or whatever. Oh god. And then like, yeah, I don't really have that much of a bit for it. I mean, I've been doing this this thing on stage where I talk about what led up to the firing, which is like I admitted in like a meeting that like I don't want to do my job, which is like so damning.
It's funny for him to start the conversation too with, "You probably seen this coming."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I'm that bad of an employee.
He's like, this guy probably thinks he's gonna get fired.
Yeah,
And,
it's like you've been. This has been in the works since day one.
Yeah.
You're fired. And here's this is another thing. I guess like he. What happened? Okay, so he leaves the call, and now it's just like me and the HR person.
oh, it's like three of you in the call initially.
Yeah, that's how you get fired. Is that like you get brought into a meeting,
Oh,
and it's
interesting.
your supervisor and a person from HR that you've never talked to
Yeah,
before.
and in your head you're like, this is probably not good.
I was like, oh, are they transferring me to HR? This is so exciting. And also, I saw this one. Have you ever seen Goodfellas?
No.
Oh, fuck. No one has seen this movie, but there's a meme where it's like, there's this, all right, spoilers. This one meme where like Joe Pesci, his character,
Mhm.
he like walks into a room because he thinks he's about to get promoted,
Yeah.
right, in the gang, and then he's just like, and then he sees like a fish in the room, like a fish on the wall, like
Sure.
just like pinned up fish on the
Yeah,
wall,
yeah.
and that's like a sign that says that you're about to get killed.
A fish?
Yeah, because like it's like the whole thing is like, oh, he's sleeping with the fishes. It's like that Italian mob
Oh,
thing.
interesting.
Yeah, so he sees that and
What
he's
type
like,
of fish? It's funny. It's like a small pin goldfish.
yeah, it's just like a small fry, and he's like, oh no. But he sees it's like a big swordfish,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
And then he says, oh no, and before he can react,
Yeah.
he gets shot in the back of the head.
Oh, damn.
So someone like there's a meme where someone like took a screenshot of that meme and it's like how it feels to get called into a meeting with your boss in HR. So basically that's exactly how it felt. And then like the HR person, it was just me and her talking, and she was just like she's going through the details, and then she's like, also you will have to give up your company phone. If you want, you can buy it back from us, but you have to get a new carrier. And I'm just like, I don't have like a company phone.
Yeah.
And then she says like, oh, you're an easy one. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What the hell?
Well, that's good. Good for you that you made her job a little easier.
Well, a little bit. And then like, so, because now I have to send back all the equipment, right?
Right.
And
like a company laptop.
at a company laptop, like 2 monitors, a
Mhm.
docking station.
Yeah.
Docking meaning-
Company underwear they gave you.
Yeah. They gave me socks.
Really?
Yeah.
Just send the socks back.
It's so weird. Yeah, send the socks back.
Just shit in the socks.
There's just like cum on the socks, and it's like, my bad. These socks are too ugly to wear in public, but I did put my dick in them, and so it's kind of like
Yeah.
kind of like my side piece,
Right.
and
Yeah, it's my girlfriend
Yeah.
too.
it's like I sent a note back, just like cum, just cover, like this is like a cum covered sock. It's like, when you have a fat bitch on the side that you don't want to be seen in public with it.
Just tube socks.
Oh god.
yeah.
But like they're like, so I have to return just the laptop and
Yeah.
the charging shit. I can keep the monitors, which is
Oh,
pretty cool.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah. But then they said that like we need your address information and like how many boxes you want so we can send it to you,
Mhm.
right? And then I said that like, I would like some boxes, please, for me to send back the stuff to. And they're like, all right, how many boxes? And I just haven't responded. So like, I'm making their job harder now.
Oh,
because
it's
I'm
awesome.
I'm not responding
Hell
to
yeah.
their.
Fuck these guys.
They're like texting me and shit. It's like, I don't know if you saw the last email, but you really need it. I'm like, no, you don't. You're fine.
Yeah, you're probably fine. Well, I think it's okay. 2 things that I was thinking of. One, if you're an HR person and you're getting fired, do they just have your coworker do it?
Yeah, just like talking about the game, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, your company laptop will shut down in the next hour.
You're like,
It's like, why? Was I looking at Luka Doncic's stats for too long? It's like, yes, unfortunately.
Yes, you were sharing your screen while you did it on a company meeting, so we could all see.
I was using my work laptop for just the worst shit. Not porn or
Yeah.
anything, of course, but it was like,
But
you
like
know,
softcore, you know.
yeah, softcore. Like Rocky's, like what was Sylvester Stallone's breakthrough tape? Because he did softcore porn, and it's just like, ooh, Adriana.
Ooh, nice. Sydney Sweeney pinup.
Yeah. Sydney Sweeney, tasteful. HR,
Sydney Sweeney safe for work.
safe for
In a
work.
knit sweater, you're like,
And it's like we did notice that you had a folder on your desktop that says Sydney Sweeney sweater photos. I'm like, yeah, it's covered up.
It's covered up.
What are you talking about? I'm just getting mad at them. Oh god, but it's like, yeah, it was like kind of aside from, my boss being like, you probably saw this coming, and like the HR person being like, oh, this is an easy guy to fire. It was like kind of a run of the mill firing.
Yeah. Well, I also thought this was interesting. They fired you on Thursday,
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
so they had you work for like most of the week.
Most of the week, yeah.
That
And
sucks,
they
dude.
actually had me do work right up until the last second.
Really?
Yeah, they were
That's
like, we
so
need this thing. And I'm just like, all right, I turned it in, and it's like, all right, why don't you join this call real quick?
What I thought was so interesting is you were talking the weekend before. You go, I think I'm gonna get fired from my job, and I'm really worried. And I was like, okay, sorry. I was like, that sucks. But then on Monday, you texted me. You go, I actually got a ton of work assigned, so I actually don't think I'm gonna get fired. And then I said, I think they're trying to make you quit. Like I think they're giving you a bunch of work to quit. But it's funny, they actually just try to make you do as much work as possible to the last second.
Yeah, that was like the worst case scenario.
You should have. knowing you were gonna get fired, you should have just purposely fucked up all the work.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, we need this Tableau dashboard by 4, and I'm like, all right, sure, and I send in like a picture of Sydney Sweeney, like, safe for work, tasteful, under boob.
JD, there's no grass in here. I'm like, do you see your tits look goes up and down?
Dude, I don't know, man. It's it was like
That's fucked up. They made you do. They made you work 80% of the work week before they fired.
yeah, I know. Just do it on Monday.
When
you
I
know
got
what
fired, I got fired on Monday.
Yeah.
I got fired early too.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, like, not getting fired, but like that might be like, yeah, the best case scenario.
They fucking slaved you out, man.
And then, God damn it, what was I gonna say? So like when I got fired, I was in the call and I was just like, all right, this is fine. I knew this was coming. In fact, I'm a bit happy that I don't have to do this fucking bullshit job anymore.
Yeah.
And then like I remember like texting you, and I was texting my girlfriend, and both times I was like, yeah, I got fired from my job, dude. I'm finally free. And then I texted Eddie because we went to that soccer game.
Yeah.
And I made the whole conversation about me and was like, I think I'm gonna get fired. And Josh Creedon is like, I was just looking to have a few beers, but yeah, let's talk about you. And
Meanwhile, I'm stuffing fucking hot dogs in my legs.
crazy, the squad, dude, the squad, the bad employee, the hot dog guy. Anyways, what was I gonna say?
You texted Eddie.
Oh yeah, I texted Eddie and I was just like, I got fired from my job, and I expected him to be like, you and my girlfriend were just like, yeah, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh damn, that sucks, man. And I was just like, no, I'm oddly happy about it. Like, I'm fine with it. And then he said like, I don't mean to be a girl about this, but you might be in shock. And I'm just like, oh fuck. I was like, shit.
No.
And I was like, because then I realized like, oh shit, this is a bad thing. This
Yeah.
is an objectively bad thing at the end of the day, losing a job, even if I hated that job.
Yeah, you were excited about like the rebound sex you were gonna have and all the hookups you were gonna do, and then you go, oh no, I lost a partner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was like just like being able to like date or whatever, and then just like the girl being like, oh, I don't really see a connection between us, and in the moment you're just like, yeah, dude, you weren't that hot anyways.
Go home, just sit on your couch for 8 hours, just
Yeah.
haven't moved, just fucking just breathing hard.
Zoning. It was like there's only the bathroom light is on in the apartment.
They just throw up in the side of the the fucking toilet.
But
It is a bad thing, but I do think like you hated it. Now it's an opportunity for you to get potentially a different job that you might like a little more. So
yeah, a little more, and then like the cycle will continue. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, all
And,
right,
and it happened to you before, so which I think is just like a good point that you could probably you're in good hands. And because I was like looking at my resume compared to yours, and I was like, oh fuck.
I mean, I've said this time and time again. You have the better degree. I feel like that equates.
I don't think it matters after your first job though what your degree is. I think they just care about like what's your experience now. And I've been out. I like technically haven't been working like a 9-to-5 job for a year, so I think people see that and they go, kill this guy.
We're gonna kill you with hammers.
We're gonna kill you. Orbital drone strike.
Like a recruiter on LinkedIn. You're just like, hey, I'm really interested about this job as a compensation analyst for Angie's List. And it's like, we're gonna kill you with hammers.
We're sending people to kill you.
Can you drop your location, please? Like, okay, I'm in Bushwick here at the No Cafes. It's like, we have a sniper train on your
Just a laser. Anyway. Well, anyway, JT and I, we applied to some jobs this morning. Productive.
I mean,
Good.
so far it's not really looking that great, but
No.
productive.
Yeah, every time I apply, I was telling JT this, every time I apply to a job, I'm just like, the fuck am I, what is this?
Yeah, what is this,
What
dude?
am I doing?
This is such a weird position to be in. You
Yeah.
know, just like begging for a job that I will eventually
They're
not
like, why do you want this job? I'm like, because I need one. Give me the job.
Yeah, exactly.
Every opportunity, I wish I could just send a picture of my face and be like, please, just give me the interview. Like, I promise you, I'll be able to do it. But
Yeah.
you can't just send a picture of that.
Yeah. You know what I should do is that like there's like a phone screening usually as the first round of the interview.
Yeah.
Just like make it clear that I am jerking off. And then they're like, sir, and I'm just like, I'm looking at the job position. That's how much I like it. I just want to like, just have the balls to just
I'm stroking with lotion on my
Is this a good time for you? I got lotion on my shit. I'm stroking my shit, dude. Straight up jorking it,
I'm
dude.
straight up jorking it, bro. Anyway, yeah, we were applying and hopefully. Maybe no, we don't know. We do this pretty infrequently, so maybe by hopefully 2 more podcasts one of us have something.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just not optimistic about my own chances. I don't know why. And I just think that, like, I'm just going to end up in a worse place than I was, like, you know, a month from now. We were talking about, this is like, it was on the pod, like, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or not weeks, a few episodes ago. And you're just like, your rebound has been crazy. Like, you lost your job, and now you have a new job and a girlfriend. I'm like, it's all going to come crashing down. This is happening. It's happening in real time, dude.
Yeah, you're hitting your Shaq years when he was on, like, the fucking, I don't know, the Celtics.
Yeah, this is Celtics Shaq era, low-key.
You're getting fucked up right now.
I want to, you know, it's going to come time where I'm just, like, on a panel with, like, fucking Kenny and Chuck or whatever, and I just have the worst opinions out of all of them. It's going to happen, dude.
You're just making fun of your coworker for saying sus shit the entire. No, Chuck, what'd you say?
It's like, when you're in the key and the guy's pounding you, he's pounding you hard, and my whole reaction is just be like, what the fuck, man? That's my whole job.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm a hopeful I'm a glass half full type of guy, so I hope things do work out. But it is funny to imagine. Like, I remember last time before I like took the cafe job or whatever, or before I found this tutoring job, I was like applying for a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And now I have a little more direction of what I wanted to do. But when I was applying then, I would just go on Google and I go jobs near me.
Nice.
I just applied based on proximity.
That's good.
No, I think if you do that, they should like enlist you in the military.
That's when they say we're gonna kill you.
Yeah. They're like, you don't even know what you want to go just near you. Yeah, we gotta kill this guy. It's the most useless individual. Doesn't even know what he wants to do. But now I have a direction. But back then, I mean, ugh.
Yeah, I love messing with my girlfriend and being like, I'm gonna join the military and die on purpose.
What?
She's like, stop saying that. I'm like, what's gonna happen?
What do you mean die on purpose? You're just out there in like the Middle East.
Well, this is what I do with my time is just
Yeah.
like look up like obscure wars, and I was looking at like the Iran-Iraq war.
Yeah.
Apparently, like what Iran used to do was to like take people like young kids
Right.
up until like I think the age of like 21, 22, and then they'd be like, all right, you see this like minefield set up by Iraq, why don't you go and walk over there? Yeah. I just want to message a recruiter and just be like, I'm really interested in walking over mines. I think it's gonna be
We'll die for this company.
Yeah.
We'll join the jihad for this.
We'll send my own limbs flying towards the direction of heaven. Just
and towards a pedophile, maybe. We know. That's what, okay, it's time. Goodbye.